Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. I am your host, Gersh1, and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today we continue talking about Necromunda, as we get into the gangs of Necromunda. If you have not checked out Part 1 or Part 2, we basically gave you a breakdown of what Necromunda is, and we gave you a breakdown of the different houses. Now we're going to talk about the gangs. These guys are the ones underneath the noble houses. The noble houses instruct them who to kill, what to create, and all that good stuff. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We post Warhammer 40K content every single day. And of course, if you have any suggestions, comment down below. But with that said, let's get into 40 facts on the gangs of Necromunda. In the hives, every manufacturing process, industry, and service is the concern of one house or another. The pressures of competition for limited resources, even such basics as good food, air, and water, means that every house must sometimes resort to armed force to secure its survival. Every house, and groups of related families within each house, have their own territories or concessions, often carved out and defended by their own gangs of young house members. In this way, forests have been replaced by jungles of metal and concrete, and society is ordered along these tribal lines. For many ordinary Necromundans, running with a gang comes as part of a life cycle. Young members of the gang are expected to play their part in defending the gang territory and upholding the honor of their relative house. Youths in their early teens are initiated into the gang by various rites of passage. From then until their mid-20s, they fight for the gang in the same way that young warriors would fight for their tribe in a primitive feral world society. After several years with the gang, a gang member gains the respect and status of his family and other house members, and gains the right to found his own family and take part in the house's business. The struggle for supremacy between houses is ceaseless and often violent. House gangs fight each other openly. Gang leaders are assassinated and kidnapped, or most commonly, a gang's resource and territory is destroyed in endless raids. Lord Helmar and the noble houses do little to interfere. They simply wait and do business with the winners. Neither Helmar nor his officials concern themselves with inner-house rivalries, as long as they fulfill their quota of goods and deliver them on time. Lord Helmar extracts tolls on all businesses through off-world shipping and handling charges, recruits the best gangs into the planetary defense force, and leaves the hives to manage as best they can. It is an arrangement that suits everyone. The cooperation between the houses and Lord Helmar is an accepted part of life. It operates at many levels, with gangs recruited into the Planetary Defense Force given semi-official status as venerators and custodians, or secretly used for Helmar's hidden dealings. Young house members usually fall between the ages of early teens and mid-20s. Most of the population of Necromunda belongs to a house, and then they form gangs. A typical house can include hundreds of such gangs. The workshops, factories, and assorted living areas of the families in the house are the territories of the local house gang. Other houses, gangs, and strangers will be challenged if they violate the gang's territory without permission or payment of tribute. Youths are initiated into the gang by various initiation rites. Some must prove themselves worthy by acts of reckless bravery, such as scratching an enemy, which means cutting off an ear or finger as a trophy. Others must endure ritual scarification without flinching. Most gang members receive ritual scars or tattoos of some kind. After a time running with the gang, juvies will have gained enough respect and status to found their own families and take up family businesses. Gangs of young noble house members protect the house territory and other members of their house as they go about their work. These gangs also make it their business to uphold house honor, which will often lead to long-standing feuds between rival clans. Gangs with a good reputation may be hired by other houses, noble houses, or Lord Helmar's officials for various tasks. Exceptional House members may be recruited into the Planetary Defense Force, Imperial Guard, or even the Adeptus Astartes. The most common type of gangs on Necromunda are made up of the members of 6 houses of the Hive City, namely House Orlok, House Goliath, House Escher, House Van Saar, House Delac, House Cawdor, although there are other smaller houses. House Orlok is known as the House of Iron because its foundation lies upon deep ferrous slag pits. The Hivers mine these pits for the debris of ancient times and extract enough pure metal from the refuse to serve their industries. Over the centuries, extensive mining on the slags have caused some lower domes to collapse. In the past, this led to hivequakes and the destruction of several overlaying domes. For many centuries, the house has fulfilled the Ulti contract, a lucrative deal by which one house supplies the core requirements of the Ulti noble house. Previously, the contract was supplied by House Delac, but the Orloks usurped the position by bribing Underhive gang raiders to destroy fuel lines into a Delac guild factory. Since then, the two houses have taken every opportunity to discredit each other. 5 years ago, Lord Hagen Orlok was assassinated by the Delacs, and relations between the houses have never been the same. The domain of House Goliath is situated unfavorably within Hive City and occupies some of the deepest and harshest areas. By way of compensation, the Goliaths are tough and persistent by inclination. They consider the hivers of other houses to be soft and slack. In truth, all hivers are naturally robust, being inert to the toxins which they accept unquestioningly as part of a normal life. The Goliaths, however, take a stubborn pride in their ability to endure hardship. The other houses see Goliaths as barbaric and unpredictable. Goliath institutions, such as the Fighting Pits and the Feast of the Fallen, do nothing to dispel these impressions of a violent people. Size and strength are seen as the measure of a man. Their style of dress emphasizes a preoccupation with physique, featuring weighty chains and spiked metal bracers. House Escher is perhaps the most strikingly different of all the houses of Necromunda. Like all the houses, it is controlled by a ruling family, and its political life and institutions are dominated by close relatives or families in service. However, unlike other houses, which have reasonably balanced populations, that of the Escher is made up almost entirely of women. The few men are shriveled and imbecile, perhaps as a result of a genetic flaw within the house's bloodline. Whatever the reason, they play no part in the normal affairs of the Escher. Escher society has long since developed to cope with its uniquely imbalanced population, so that it is no longer perceived as a disadvantage. The Eschers have a reputation for arrogance and are said to look down and pity all males. They are particularly dismissive of the Goliaths as simple and brutish. The two houses are old enemies, and skirmishes along their borders are common. House Van Saar is renowned for the quality of its technical products. The technology is no more advanced than that of anyone else, progress being almost non-existent throughout the Imperium, but the house's manufacturing processes are precise, and its finished material are of the highest quality. The noble houses pay a premium for Van Saar's goods, and as a result, the house is probably the most wealthy in the Hive City. The Van Saar are reputed to be a serious-minded and humorless people, with a deeply ingrained sense of order. Like all the houses of Hive City, they have a style of dress which marks them out. In the case of the Van Saar, this takes the form of a tight-fitting bodysuit designed to protect and sustain the wearer in the hive environment. Semi-permeable membranes in the suits reduce the loss of body moisture, while various spots in the material change color to warn the wearer of airborne toxins and reduce oxygen levels. House Delac benefits from a special understanding with the Imperial House of Helmar, providing not just material, but also information to the rulers of Necromunda. Delac spies are said to operate throughout the hive, observing the activities of other houses. It is rumored that some of the ruling family members of the houses, and even some noble houses, are in the pay of the Delac. Other houses are suspicious of the Delacs. Their appearance perpetuates their reputation for double dealings and espionage. They traditionally wear trench coats in which they can easily conceal weapons and other large items. Most are very pale and bald-headed. Their whispering voices are thin and eerie. Many wear dark visors or implanted filter screens to protect their sensitive eyes. An intolerance of light being a common Delac weakness. Although the entire hive is eerily dim, the territory of the House Delac is particularly dark and shadowy, as it benefits a people whose motives and methods are shrouded in mystery. House Caldor is the stronghold of the Cult of the Redemption, whose prophets foretell of universal destruction. Although the cult has its adherents throughout the hive, in House Caldor it has attained the status of an official religion. For this reason, the house is also known as the House of Redemption. The Caldor attitude to other houses is strongly colored by their beliefs. Amongst other things, this forbids them to show their faces in public, so Caldor can be recognized by their elaborate masks. The design of their masks are often quite bizarre or disturbing. The Redemption demands a strict code of conduct, and those who break the rules are driven away and become outcasts. Hivers who do not follow the Redemption are worthless infidels. Needless to say, the relationship between House Caldor and other houses is strained. It is often supposed that the Caldor actively support redemptionist outlaws in other houses. And those were 40 facts on the gangs of Necromunda. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. When you look at the new Necromunda set that's coming out, you are looking at the Eschers and you're looking at the Goliaths, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's those two. Really excited for that to come out. Definitely going to pick up a box just because I like the models, and we're also going to give away a box, like I said in the previous video, so subscribe to get that. If you guys have any suggestions or if you guys have any requests for video topics, comment down below. If you guys enjoy our videos, share them with your friends on Facebook and Twitter or whatever social media you guys use. It really helps out the channel. And if you want to support us a little bit more, jump on over to Patreon. A simple $1 a month helps us create more videos, and you guys get extra videos like creepypastas and whatnot. With that said, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. This was Gershwin with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.